Hi 6th graders, this is Mrs. Gall. Today we're going to review some landmarks. You'll want your notebook open to a fresh page as well as a calculator. Press play when you're ready to continue. We're going to try a problem together and then I'll have you try one on your own. So stay with me as we work through to make sure you're understanding these landmarks accurately. Let's start looking at the mean for this set of data. So this is winning scores in college football bowl games from 2007 to 2008. Usually I want to start by ordering my data, although it doesn't necessarily need to be ordered for my mean. That will come in handy as I move forward and have to look at my other landmarks. So I'm going to take a look and I'm going to just get started with my smallest number, which I see here is 10. So go ahead and start ordering this data for me in your notebook as I order it here. I don't see any more numbers in the 10s, but I do see some 20s. I have a 21, 24, another 24, no more numbers in the 20s that I see. I have a 31, a 38, no more 30s, a 41, a 44, a 48, a 49, and a 52. To find the mean of the data, we add all of these numbers up and then divide by how many there are. Let's start by adding, and I'm going to use my calculator on my screen so you can see how I go about this process. If you're trying this along with me, see if you also get 382 when you first add the data. Let's now count how many data points we had. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I might double count over here to make sure 11 was the same number we had here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to take my 382 and divide by that number, 11. My mean is kind of a strange number. That's okay, that will sometimes happen. It looks like I'm getting 34.72 repeating. So I'm just going to round that to 34.7. You could also do 7.2 or 7.3. Next, let's find the median. The median is the center number. We're going to cross off low, high, until we get down to one number in the middle. I know it's one number because it's an odd number of data. 38 is my center number. That is our median. Do I have any mode or modes here? I do. I had one number that appeared twice when all of the other numbers appeared one time. So my mode was 24. Remember, you can have no mode. If that's the case, you write none or no mode. Or you can have more than one mode if other numbers are occurring the same number and it's more than the rest. Our range is going to be maximum minus minimum. What's our maximum in this data set? 52 minus our minimum, 10. We would get 42 for the range. These other landmarks are new for this unit. They are for when we're finding our box plot landmarks, so they are important. Let's break down how we find them. For the lower and upper quartile, remember the lower quartile is the median of the lower half of my data. My median came down to this one number, 38. So I'm going to look at everything below 38 to find the lower quartile. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to cross off low, high. Notice I'm not including the median, it's below the median. Low, high. And I come down to one number in the center for the lower quartile, 24. Let's do the same thing with the upper quartile, everything above the median. I cross off low, high, low, high. I come down to one number in that upper half of the data, 48. This one worked out nicely because it came down to one number. Just a friendly reminder, if your median or quartiles come down to two numbers, you have to find the center of those two numbers. You can do that by adding them together and dividing by 2. The last landmark we have today is the interquartile range, also known as the IQR. That's where we subtract our two quartiles, kind of like the range, but we're subtracting the quartiles instead of the max and the min. So we take 48 minus 24, and we get 24 for the interquartile range. All right, you guys, I want you to practice finding these landmarks on your own. Press pause on the next slide so you can have some time to work. Press play when you're ready to hear me go through the answers. Please order the data before you find the landmarks. All right, you guys, hopefully you're ready to see the answers. I'm just going to work through it as quickly as I can here. I've got 43 as my first number, 46, 47, no more 40s, I've got a 51, a 52, no more 50s, 61, 67, no more 60s, 71, 78, no more 70s, 82, 86, 88. All right, now we can find our landmarks. For the mean, we're going to add those all up, and then I have 12 months, so I'll divide by 12. When I add them, I get 772. I'm just going to double check that there's 12 numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Divide by 12. I get a repeating decimal, 64.3 repeating, so I can just round that to 64.3. If you include the repetition sign, that is totally fine. Now let's find the median. That's our center number. Since this is an even number of data points, you should have come down to 2 numbers in the middle. So you're going to have to find the center of those 2 numbers. I came down to 61 and 67. To find the center, I'm going to add those 2 numbers together and divide by 2. My median, 128 divided by 2 is 64. So my median falls in between these 2 numbers. I'm going to draw that line there to help me when I get to the upper and lower quartiles. I don't believe I had a mode. I didn't see any numbers that repeat. Oh, yeah, I had 82, 86. Those are not the same. So I'm going to say no mode for mode. None or no mode. My range, my maximum, 88, minus my minimum, 43. I got 45. My lower quartile, I'm looking at everything below the median line, but I am going to include that 61 because that's below the median. So I'm going to do low, high, and I come down to 47 and 51. How do I find the middle number? Add them together, 47 plus 51, and divide by 2. I get 49 for the lower quartile. Same thing with the upper quartile. I look at everything above the center line, and 67 is included in that. So I go ahead and cross off one by one on each side until I come down to two numbers, 78 and 82. I know the center there is 80, but I can confirm that by adding them together and dividing by 2. 80 is my upper quartile. Remember that IQR, the interquartile range, is subtracting your quartiles. So 80 minus 49 is going to give us that answer, which is 31. If you guys have any questions about these landmarks, please check in with your teacher.